Donald Glover's Tumblr being exposed for its teenage Asian girl fetish content actually shows us a little glimpse into why Black women would be rejecting nerdy Black men, because there are things that they can pull over on women outside of the culture that they cannot within the culture. So guys, my name is G. Subscribe to my channel and let's get into my notes on the Black male nerd archetype. Black girls didn't like me in high school. Black girls always thought I was weird. They wouldn't talk to me because I wasn't tough and a jock. You know what happened? In reality, these Black women and girls had cultural fluency and they clocked behavior that was not right within these dudes. And I think Donald Glover and Tyler, the Creator, are two guys that show exactly what Black women and girls were seeing in them, but didn't necessarily know what to call it. Because what they were actually seeing was misogyny, weird antisocial behavior, and potential dudes that might be a predator. And mind you, we can't always tell. Black women have always supported nerdy alternative guys. Look at Common, Pharrell, Anime. There are so many nerdy alternative Black girls. So when we talked about these narratives previously, it was always like, well, why couldn't they find these alternative Black girls? These same Black girls peeped game within these dudes. They already knew that there was something wrong beyond being nerdy or weird or alternative. They felt something else. Donald Glover's Tumblr exposed not a fetish for Asian women, but for Asian teenage girls that he made into submissive, voiceless caricatures. He built his whole Tumblr on this, on a sick fetish. And when you start thinking about like what he would say about Black women not liking him, perhaps this is it. Black women were feeling the energy not being right. He's a predator. He's a predator. And honestly, if he wasn't Donald Glover, I'm pretty sure the FBI would have his computers by now. Tyler, the Creator, is another Black man who is been edgy, his weird. He was the voice of teenage angst. And he was also someone who rapped about harming women. His Twitter feed that exposed him wanting to sexually assault pregnant women. He had other violent fantasies about women, as well as a lot of anti-Blackness that he masked as jokes. These two guys are great examples that the nerdy Black guy sometimes isn't that nerdy in the sense of a soft guy. He is somebody who we can feel the energy might be a predator or someone who could harm women in general. So the idea that these Black women didn't understand them, nah, they understood them too well. And that's how they got to benefit by going outside of the culture to find women who don't understand them. These are the perfect men to gaslight women outside of the culture about the realities in Black culture that they already think are negative, that they already think is problematic, and Black men are so abused. This is a narrative that you can see over and over again, especially if they can play into, well, my Black mother also treated me mean like these Black girls did. The Black girls were mean because they knew they needed to be to protect themselves. And potentially the Black mom was mean because she saw some things that she was trying to correct, especially in these boys who are obviously sexual predators in some way. And of course, some Black mothers don't handle things well. Instead of, trying to understand them, perhaps she tried to oppress these behaviors or beat it out of them, whatever the case may be. And all of these stories are what they take over to other cultures to say how they were so abused and demonized. And since these people already have a negative idea of the Black community, they can play into that. And now they're saving them emotionally and mentally as well. So they're allowed to hide their anti-blackness because that's what they sought out on the other side. And they're also allowed to experiment and explore because these other people don't know necessarily how weird and problematic these behaviors are. But Black women and Black girls can probably peep it because ultimately we have to peep that a lot of times within our own families when we have predators and things like that within our families and close neighbors. A lot of Black girls and women already know how to peep that type of energy, and they try their best to filter out these things when they're dealing with guys. And it doesn't always work, obviously. However, when you couple all of the things together, these guys are more likely to expose their weirdness to you earlier on, say things and do things that will make you uneasy. And I hear a lot of stories of how men or Black men in these ideas where they hate Black women, they play up their abuse and how they were ostracized by the Black community to people outside of the culture because it makes it easier and they start to feel protected. And because of all of this idea that they've been abused and treated badly by the women and blah, 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 these other women start to protect all of their weirdness and all of their predatory behavior and all of the problems and antisocialness that these people display starts to become protected within these groups as a part of their trauma responses and basically forgiven time and time again, and they never have to address it or try and grow. And I can say that I have known women involved with some of these like nerdy guys, and these men can be some of the most emotionally abusive men. And a lot of times women don't know how to run from that. And if you can peep the energy early, you just reject it. And these men playing into this idea within Black women actually has probably kept a lot of Black women safe. And they've made victims out of women outside of the culture. And that's unfortunate as well. So ultimately, it starts to come down to not being about preferences at all. It's about peeping patterns that display problematic behavior. And some of these nerdy alternative guys actually are just hiding to the predatory natures and the misogyny that really exists within them. Guys, my name is G again. Thanks for watching. If you have not already, go ahead, subscribe to my channel. I look forward to talking to you in the comments, and ciao, ciao for now.